up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. But my channel today is not taking place in my room because today I'm in Orlando, Florida. And you know, normally I do movie reviews and trailer reactions, Joe, but I'm lucky enough to be in your neck of the woods, if you will. And you are obviously a massive superhero and comic book movie fan. But today, the concept of this video is, man, I just want to sit here and I wanted to come out with something telling everyone else why this room is so important and epic. And Joe, I want to start off with, what is this place? I mean, what is this? Why does this room exist? And what does it consist of?
Alright, so basically everything that's in this room is a culmination of me collecting a lot of toys. When I consider myself a comic book fan, I go all the way back to the early 80s. And a lot of the stuff in this room is from that era. Original stuff. Not the retro stuff you go and buy at your local comic book shop or you pick up somewhere, you know, at a second hand. This is the actual authentic 80s merchandise. And a lot of stuff in here is just... I was very blessed to have a wife that gets me. And it's, I'm just going to say that right off the bat.
Yeah, first off, I want to talk about Alex for just a second because you have kind of converted her into just as big of a comic book fan. And Marvel Cinematic Universe as well. We just watched Avengers Infinity War again, and man, she was so emotional, as were we. But I want to ask you a question real quick, Joe. One tear. What got you in? Because that's the basis of this room, right? You started out with a box of comics, and that's kind of what built into what we see now. Why are you so big into the comic book?
All right, so this is kind of a two-part answer for you.
Okay.
My father was kind of a huge advocate for me in reading a comic book. Now, but the first exposure I ever had to a comic book was actually Mr. Christopher Reeve and his portrayal of Superman in the 1978 Superman the movie.
Dude.
So I remember as being a kid seeing this on the screen, I'm like, what is a superhero? What is it? He's flying. What? He's got X-ray vision. And so as a 4- and 5-year-old kid, your mind is blown.
Yeah.
So my father kind of picked up on that. He's like, well, Joe's kind of into comics. So the first comic he brought me was Donald Duck.
Donald Duck?
Donald Duck.
What?
And it was, you know, at the time, Disney was releasing their comics. And it was kind of an interesting thing. So
I didn't know that.
It was almost like rolling the dice and kind of just, you know, some kind of a roulette. He would bring me a different comic book every week.
Okay.
And the second comic book he brought me was Alf, #2.
I was not going to say Alf. Or Donald Duck.
Kitty. But I'm just saying, but the third comic he brought me, and I actually have a treat for you guys, was this comic right here.
Oh,
and this thing,
dude.
Right here. Incredible Hulk.
Are
And
you
this is the second appearance of the gray-skinned Goliath. This is issue number 324, and it's 1986. And I was probably, 1986, I was 6 years old.
Wow.
Probably 6 years old
Oh,
at this point. And so, for you guys that don't know what this means, when Marvel originally created Incredible Hulk #1, the printer had a misprint and printed the Hulk as gray, and then issue #2, he became back as the Green Hulk. And so, for the Hulk to come back as the original gray-skinned Hulk, this was kind of a big deal, but this was the first exposure I ever had to the Incredible Hulk, aside from Lou Ferrigno's portrayal of
on the TV
Hulk
show.
on the TV show.
Yes, absolutely.
So, you know, having that, I was a weird kid growing up. I was a kid in the back of the class that kept drawing Spider-Man, and my teacher would always like want to try to get me, Mr. Burke, can you apply yourself? We're doing mathematics. And I was a kid, like 5 more minutes, I need to finish Spider-Man's eye.
He's really good at it, though. Really, really good. You guys have, oh my gosh.
There's so much more to learn.
Nice.
But from that, and seeing comics, reading comics, it became a form, I'll go on the record and say this, I was kind of bullied in high school. I was bullied. I will say that much. And so, for me, comics was a way of escape. And reading about Bruce Banner and this little nerdy scientist, but within him was something so much more and something that could devastate worlds. And it was just mind-blowing. And I wanted to bust out of those little classrooms and just go, like, knock down buildings.
Wow.
You know, in my mind, that's what I was like, one day I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to brick this place.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, though, I hated school. I wanted to draw. I just wanted to draw. That's all I wanted to do. And so from there spawned this whole world of me trying to draw my favorite heroes. So Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane. Dude, I'm telling you, Eric Larson. I mean, Peter David, who did all the Incredible Hulk
Yeah,
comics.
the Incredible Hulk.
So, I mean, you think about all these artists from, and I have to say Jack King Kirby, who created the entire visual image of the Marvel franchise. So,
perfection.
I was inspired. And from that grew this, what you see here. And it became something that this room is literally a time capsule of my life. It's the story of my life.
And it's all yours, too. And I think that's the most incredible thing is, so you started out with the comic books, right? And then you moved into, you have statues, you have toys, you have pillows, there are lights, and just everything you could possibly imagine. So, Joe, my next question to you is, what are some of your most prized possessions, not even counting the comic books, in terms of statues and just... It's kind of, you'll kind of figure out who his favorite hero is. So what are your most prized possessions in here? Okay. And then why is the Incredible Hulk kind of your main focus?
So it's a twofer, right?
It's a twofer.
Okay. So, honestly, some of my most near and dear pieces in this room aren't ones that are actually worth the most. And so as you're going to be seeing here in a minute, you're going to be seeing some of the action figures that I used to play with as a child in 1988,
it's 86. Amazing.
And so, you know, right here you're going to be seeing the Joker. Here's the Joker from 1989. Toy Biz. Here's Batman. This is Superman from 1989. Original Toy Biz in the clamshell. And then you have my favorite, the Incredible Hulk, unopened, in the box, 1989. So some of those things are kind of like... I literally can close my eyes and go back and remember those great moments of me playing with those toys. Wow. And I was able and blessed enough to have copies and not replicas of the original toys in the boxes. Yes. And also, probably one of the most prized possessions in here is my Optimus Prime #1 G1 issue.
Wow.
Unopened in the box from 1984.
Dude.
So that is probably my most prized possession. Another one is definitely the first appearance of Rocky Raccoon. Incredible Hulk. That one's a great one as well. And, of course, my picture with Stan Lee and Lou Ferrigno and my Stan Lee autograph.
Awesome.
As well as my certificate to be able to teach the history of comic books and pop culture.
Amazing, man.
So those are just a couple of the snippets of things that are just near and dear to my heart.
That is incredible, man. So... my next question, like I said, I want to know, Joe, and I know this story.
I didn't answer the twofer part.
You didn't answer the twofer, but I'm going to get to it.
Okay, he's getting to it.
I think this is, to me, one of the most interesting stories that you have told before. Mm-hmm. Why do you love the Incredible Hulk? And guys, when he talks about this, I get just, yeah.
How deep do you want me to go?
I want you to go deep.
You sure?
I want you to go as deep as you want to go.
Okay. Well, the Incredible Hulk, for me, like I said, I was definitely a bully child. And so having that in the back of your mind, you're looking for something as a child to escape to. And I did. I grew up a bullied child. I grew up a very sick child. I was born with a rare blood condition called hemophilia. And if you know anything about hemophilia, allow me to educate you just for a brief second. It's a clotting disorder. So I have to treat myself 2 to 3 times a week, and I have to inject in my veins a synthetic form of human plasma. Now, from that, you can kind of see with the correlation coming into Banner. Banner was injected with the gamma serum.
Yeah.
And within him dwelt something that was already there, but it was magnified with the gamma radiation.
Wow.
And so you're reading that, and I'm reading these comics as a kid, especially in high school, and it became a form of escape to me. And having this medical condition, being a sick kid, growing up a sick kid, you understand that there's not a lot for someone in my situation to be able to just kind of latch onto. And so for me, the Incredible Hulk embodies so much. He's indestructible. The meaner and the madder and more ticked off he is, the larger and more... you just can't... He's a force to be reckoned with. And no spoiler alert, but Infinity War is a little sad for me. But I'm just saying... And actually getting to meet Lou Ferrigno and all these icons from my life. And... being able to be captured in that world, the Incredible Hulk for me embodied so much. It was basically the green jade Goliath that I wanted to be as a kid. Yeah. I wanted to be able to just walk away from needles, walk away from taking pills, walk away from my life, and just be this superhero that in his heart he was he intended good things to happen. But everywhere he went it was destruction. And it kind of felt and resonated with me because everywhere I went, I was always bullied. That was my destruction. Everywhere I went, I was surrounded by 4 walls in a hospital room. That was my destruction. That was my prison. That was my mental prison. You see the correlation there?
Yeah.
And so the Incredible Hulk, for me, embodied, I mean, a lot of people can resonate with Tony Stark if you're wealthy and you got a lot of money and you're a playboy type figure. Or if, you're a Greek god like Thor or Wolverine or Captain America, Spidey, whatever. But for me, it will always be the Hulk because the Hulk is just, I can't explain it. It's a really interesting feeling and a mixed emotion. Every time I see the Incredible Hulk on TV or on a movie, I stop dead in my tracks. And I just sit there, and it doesn't matter where I'm at, what I'm doing. I always take a moment and just kind of, wow. That's my childhood. That's my guy.
And that's kind of the feeling that I got when you were telling me about this room, too. Because, Joe, the reason that you built this up the way it is, because this is your room to come in. This is your Zen place, right? This is where you come in. You have time to be yourself, and you sit in that just incredible chair, and you can just watch movies and play games and read comic books, man. You have shelves and shelves of comics, and it's just amazing the amount of content that is in here. But what you were just saying about the Incredible Hulk, I think kind of ties into the reason that this room exists in the first place, is because this is where you can come in and just be happy. And me being in this room this week, visiting you, and first of all, because I'm a huge fan of superheroes and comic books and whatnot, but I come in here and we just spend some time together, cousin to cousin, hang out, play some video games, watch some movies, be surrounded by the superheroes that we grew up with, whether that's with the comics or the movies. See, I kind of started with the movies and transitioned slowly to the comics, and you were the opposite. You really started with the comics. You read comics, and now they're making all of these films, and we were watching Infinity War today. And
it's so strange.
Mesmerized.
I read Infinity War when Infinity War was written.
Yeah.
It is so weird. And now I'm seeing this come to life on the silver screen. And for anybody that's any kind of enthusiast on any franchise, whether it be Star Wars, Harry Potter, or whatever, when you see your characters come to life, I can't describe that feeling. But this room is my safe haven. This room is my sanctuary. I like to use the word sanctuary.
I like that.
Because even today, I'm getting close to being a 40-year-old man. And even today, there's moments where I have to deal with chronic pain. And I do hurt a lot. And my joints don't want to work the way they should. I come in here, I kick back in my recliner, I have my little dog beside me, and I draw. I meditate. I draw whatever I want to draw, and I play whatever I want to play, and it becomes a moment where sometimes I just stop and pause the game or pause the movie, and I just look up and around. I'm like, wow, there's 1989. I remember that. There's 1986. I remember that. And it literally is an embodiment and a sanctuary, and it's a haven for me. And, if there's one thing I would want to say to Austin's viewers, if you have the opportunity and you are blessed with a space, I encourage you, implore you to make it your own. Create your own sanctuary. Because we all need a safe haven, Austin. We all need somewhere where we can just go and just unwind, put our headphones on, listen to some music, watch a movie, play a game. And, in a society where we are so social media driven, it's so needed to have a moment where you can go in and just kind of calm.
A moment of silence.
Calm. And in here, it's calm. This is a calm room.
It is.
Whether I'm in pain or whether I'm happy, it's still calm for me.
And I can feel that too when I'm in here. When I've been in here this week, I can just feel it. It's a weird feeling because it's a balance of me being kind of at home, honestly. Because I love this stuff as much as you do, but then that just sense of wow, life is really good, and I'm surrounded by the heroes that I know and that I love. And Joe, I really appreciate you talking to me today and sharing not just your story, but your space with the viewers, because this is your place. This is your sanctuary.
This is it.
And you sharing this with the people that are watching this video is incredible. So Joseph, thank you so much, man. I want you to let them know where can they find you, where can they find more out about you, and maybe see some more pictures of this room.
All right, so you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Joseph Burke Arts. That's JosepHBurkeArts. And also I have a YouTube channel as well where I post some really cool stuff. And if you want to see my artwork that he was talking about, it's josephburkearts.com.
Dude, I've had a great week with you. Be sure to check out our podcast, Pop Xcast. Me and him, we are talking almost every weekend about movies and comic books and the history of comics. This guy is literally certified, so you can't really get any better than that. Man, I've just had a blast doing this. It's very different because, like I said, I do movie reviews and reactions and top 10s. This is something different, but I think it's something that was very much needed. You guys are the absolute best. I hope to be back here visiting Joe again very soon, and we will catch you later.